Politics. Get political. It's time! Chapter 1154. Can't even die. We are still in Loki's flashback land, right? This is... Something tells me it's gonna get bad. Volume 38. Go pay your respects at the grave of the hero. Born in the West Blue and raised in Ringo. I do wonder... Let's not get into that now. I was about to start yapping about like the all East Blues, West Blues again. Let's not get into that now. But Oda is just doing a return to Wano at this point, and I'm all here for it. How are you feeling about your stocks before we head into the chapter? I mean, I've made all of my positions that we'll keep an eye out. If you missed it, just in case you missed it, right? We have active ongoing trades. I'm not gonna leave it up here all the time, but in case you missed it, we do have an active tracker. A very, very real active tracker. So, we're gonna keep an eye on it, right? Right now, it seems like it's just a normal day trading. We'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep an eye on this. Who moved to Wano from the East Blue? I thought it was closed off. Honestly, I would have to consult the wiki, because there are a bunch of characters, like the dude who... The sword dude. They moved around as well. I think there's a bunch of people that might have come and gone, and I've just completely forgotten the details, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, like Ryuma and stuff. Not Ryuma, there was the guy who made the sword. There's a lot of characters around Wano that I no longer remember. Zoro's grandfather is another one, yeah. I don't remember the details, honestly. I think I exhausted all of my theory making around then, because we were all expecting some kind of big thing with Zoro. Okay, 63 years. Okay, so we are still in flashback land. Chief Ja Rule! The partner of Chief Ja Rule, oldest of the giants today, Beardfall Ja Rule, was killed by a young girl. The girl, a human, half-destroyed an entire giant village. Her name was Charlotte Linlin, and she would later be known as Big Mom, Emperor of the Sea. Let's stop right there. I am still very surprised that the fact that Kid, together with Law, took down Big Mom was not relevant. Remember when we started talking about Kid going to Elbaf, and one of the ideas was that in some way he was going to end up on Elbaf and actually become an important figure because he took down Big Mom. That obviously never happened. And I still wonder whether there is something there. Dying to a no hockey having baby is too funny. I'm not gonna talk about hockey. I'm not gonna talk about hockey again. It's not relevant because Law and Kid are not relevant no matter what they do. Yeah, I think like in terms of their big plot importance, they were removed from the story because they're supposed to be taken out of the running, right? I think that's what Oda was doing. But I still kind of wish we saw a little bit of follow-up on that. Now, granted, it may still happen, but who knows? Okay. As it happened, in that very same year, Elbaf was afflicted by disaster after disaster, fires, gales, and cold snaps that affected their crops, and poor fishing hauls as a result of the extreme weather that brought this normally fertile land to the brink of starvation. 63 years ago. I need to open up the One Piece timeline again. Because I think the weather shenanigans are linked to something else. I think there's something more to the weather shenanigans. Get ready to try and figure out what happened and when it happened. Yeah, like we are now entering the non-linear storytelling where what happened flashback into a flashback. I'm trying to keep it all in my head, but like I haven't watched Whole Cake Island that many times, so I don't remember like the entire like play-by-play thing. And now we're dealing with the Loki stuff. I'm struggling to even keep up with all this. But I think this weather stuff, we don't have any other inclinations of there being like huge battles elsewhere in the world or some kind of weather patterns or anything. But obviously we know that like the Aokiji and Aki Inu thing, right? That completely terraformed an entire island and presumably also the climate around it. And now we know that Emu shenanigans also displace water. And so if you mix these two things together, I just refuse to believe that all this is completely random, you know? And this whole, like, child of the devil and all this stuff being faded, like, that's not really anything we usually see with with One Piece. I can't see weather being affected. Unless, like, Loki's devil fruit. Which we did talk about. Like, what if Loki is born with a devil fruit in some capacity? Right? If Loki is somehow born with some kind of devil fruit, which we talked about the possibility of that. Let's not get into that again. If his devil fruit is in some way messing up, like, the fundamentals of the island, then maybe. But I doubt it. I doubt it. I would have confirmed that Scopa was the Roger Pirates Navigator. I was going to talk about that with the last SPS, but I never got around to it. Because people were also talking about the roles of the Straw Hats. You see, it's because of the child. The kingdom is now under its curse because you didn't kill it like I told you. But surely, that's a coincidence. I mean, I think it is. Wah! Oh, he's looking at me, Prince Loki. Kick it out. Don't let that monster near me ever again! Wah! Prince Loki, you mustn't approach your mother's chamber! Wah! Put out the beast's eyes or this country will be ruined. It's all under a curse. I mean, to be fair, he does have, like, the eyes of Sauron. So, I can see them being a little bit shook. But, something about this is... I'm just like... Shut up. I'm just thinking, like, in terms of the way Oda has written this, right? Because I'm always very much about deconstructing the author as opposed to deconstructing the story. It feels very intentional that he has woven in the entire, like, Big Mom thing, right? Where she was causing havoc, like, stealing people's souls and all of that. He has woven in all of this, like, cataclysm of weird weather, which we also know existed in the Grand Line before. And in the midst of all this, we have Loki whose eyes are also weird and they suspect a curse. Like, it is literally impossible to pin who's to blame for this. And that almost fits with Loki so well. That around him is just chaos. And you don't know what's what. All of this is very weird. We'll see. We'll see. I do think, considering the fact we haven't seen his eyes covered up already, I don't think there's, like, some kind of immediate effect. Loki is the "this is fine" meme. Yeah, I mean, I keep talking about the lore, but this is very much like Loki is gonna be the one who says can't even die. I already realize what's this setting up. Loki is going to be absolutely miserable, tragic, probably going to try to be killed. Loki is gonna be... I think it's gonna be subverted somehow. I think that's like one of the things that's going to make Loki. I think the "I want to live" moment will be subverted. I don't think it's going to be like a whole thing I need saving, I want to live, I have hope. I think Loki's whole thing is going to be different. I don't know in which direction, but I think his way of coping with this is going to be very, very different. That's just like a pure gut check, though. I've got nothing to go off of, but my gut tells me it's going to be very different. So Loki is black-pilled? Something like that. Something like that. I don't know exactly in which direction it's gonna swing, but I do feel like his way of dealing with this is going to be like, if the world never allowed me to exist, then, like, I will just carve out my own space or something like that. I think it's going to be very different. I want to live, but if I can't live, then no one can. No, I don't think it's gonna be the rumbling. I don't think it's gonna be the rumbling. I think it's going to be something a bit more, like, decisive in terms of how he lives and how he presents himself. But this is going off of nothing. This is just a vibe. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Wham! I'm hungry! I'm sorry, sweetie. That was the last loaf of bread we had. Should we go raiding? It would be easy to take from the humans. That's a part of Elbaf's history, isn't it? Don't be a fool! Elbaf has always fought with pride. Huh! That's just a story we tell ourselves. It's kind of true, I guess. I wonder how much of this we're gonna explore. Because we briefly touched on the whole, like, we don't need to be a warland already. But, like, to see... Because, again, like, all of these calamities falling upon Elbaf, and they progressed so much. You see what I mean? Like, this almost seems like a conspiracy. Elbaf was making so much progress. They were making all of these allies, right? We talked about, like, the whole Elbaf is the heart of this massive alliance, and obviously Elbaf is also incredibly powerful. For the world government, that is a nightmare scenario. Like, that is as bad as you could possibly be. Because they're functionally creating a new world government, right? They're functionally an oppositional force. And now all of these calamities fall upon Elbaf. and suddenly they start to cannibalize their own alliance. Like, it just seems sus to me. Maybe that's a conspiracy. Let's see. The Huntsman village is attacking us. What? Them? They've taken out the other villages too. Grab your weapons. Don't let them pillage us. At this time, Elbaf had a little internal cohesion and cooperation. Civil wars were not uncommon. With the desperate food situation, the fighting only grew worse and many died. This is what the revolutionaries are doing to Marie Joie at this exact moment. This is sus to me. We are seeing this play out in the present day on the literal opposite side. Marie Joie is currently blockaded by the revolutionary forces. So I'm just like thinking, like, if this happened in the past and they've made so much progress and they're having all these issues happening, it seems very convenient. The country was plunged into chaos, and over time, from what I heard, that prince at the castle is accursed. The people grew sick within their hearts. And now they're blaming their higher-ups. So now the government is also going to collapse. Highly sus. Highly sus. Hey, Irudin! Your brother has put a curse on this land! He's trying to kill it! Huh? You're his brother, so you must be a sacrifice. Nah, that's a wild thing to say. That's a... Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. That's a very wild thing to say. What? My brother is cursed? So I must be the sacrifice. No, wait a minute. How about we sacrifice you? Like, whoa, that's a very... I could see you telling me, like, go talk it out with him, go and kill him, go and, like, do something with him, not like you must be a sacrifice. That's a crazy thing to say. What did I do, bro? Exactly. Like, this is the wait meme. Huh? My son's the sweetest, cutest boy in the world, and that means he's gotta live to be the oldest boy in the world. Shut up, Ida! You have no right to seduce Harold like that, outsider! You shut up! Love has no borders. Very based. Don't touch my mom! Don't make me pound you! King Harold! The goat. That's why he's the goat. What the hell is that? Okay, before... I'm sorry, I saw a lot of ships. I saw a lot of ships and my monkey brain was activated. I saw a lot of ships and, like, Marineford monkey brain was activated. So he is still trying to establish some kind of order, which is good. Why do you turn on another, my brethren? Your Majesty! In the same breath that I heard about the birth of Loki, I learned that my kingdom was suffering from starvation. I went at once to the countries with which we have ties, and without a single word, they went and loaded up their ships with massive piles of food. Each human has but a tiny body, but they banded together country after country and brought enough food to fill our giant bellies. We just found a way to defeat the world government. You see what I mean? They have functionally established a better, literal, like, democratic alternative to the world government that actually works. King Harold is the actual... I mean, it makes perfect sense why he was... I don't think there's any, ulterior lore, any bigger reason why King Harold was assassinated. Like, for me, this is straight up the reason why they got him. He was building a better world government that would have inevitably taken over the power that Marie Joie has. Bro literally said, I'll just do it myself. He became the leader of the free world. Aren't they ships from the world government? These are allies from all the other nations. The world government definitely took him out because he was doing better. I don't think it was even necessarily the fact that he was doing better. It was just a political move. An authoritarian regime doesn't like democratic regimes. They really don't. Because democratic regimes are sometimes slower and sometimes, like, less concentrated, basically, right? But in the long run, like, obviously this form of cooperation was going to have a better outcome than what Emu's doing right now. Yeah. Oh, if you were talking about this, they obviously are a part of like the reverie and stuff, but they're doing this out of their own free will. Like, they're just allied with Elbaf, and they were just like, y'all are starving, we gotta help you out. And I mean, if I was a big evil man, And I was trying to starve out Elbaf, right? Somehow, some way. And I saw this happen, and I was like, God damn it. Now they have allies coming to feed them, we can't even starve them out? What's the alternative? Just get rid of the guy who actually made it happen. Now you could turn him into a martyr, which would also be very bad. Politics. Get political. Doesn't the world government have tributes from these countries, or is this where it started? I would assume that the world government, the whole tribute thing, was probably like a thing that always existed. I don't think like this is the thing that started it. Not the Vine Boom sound effect. When we talk about, like, if I say get political, it's mandatory. You can't get political without the Vine Boom. Let us be grateful for the raid. We're here, Harold. Hey, how do we dock at this island? It's enormous. Let us savor the food they've brought us, and when they in turn need our help, let us give it freely. The world we've lived in is so much smaller than the real thing. I nominate King Harold to be the leader of the free world. I vote for Harold. Wherever I can vote, I vote for him. If you give me an empty ballot, I'm writing King Harold. The absolute GOAT. This would cause an assassination if they're giving tributes to the giants and not the celestial dragons. I mean, I think it was more so about building a oppositional force. Right? Because if they were to establish this big alliance, and people a part of... Let's think about it this way, right? There's the World Government Alliance, and the Elbaf Alliance, right? And as the World Government Alliance, you do not want the Elbaf Alliance to be very strong, because, like, your whole thing is predicated on the fact that you control everything. But the Elbaf Alliance doesn't really care about the World Government Alliance, right? So what do? Well, you just strike first and get rid of the Elbaf Alliance. And to get rid of the Elbaf Alliance, they just took out King Harold, because without King Harold, Elbaf was already going to crumble. Get political. Well, I cut it off accidentally. Allied nations could build up a force enough to match the world government, and they know that because that's how they started with the 20 kingdoms. I think it's something like that. Like, that's my current read on the situation. I think they were genuinely just terrified of what Elbaf is doing. Elbaf by itself wasn't like a big deal. The allied, like some of the nations allying wasn't a big deal. Elbaf plus the allied nations was very scary. That's my read on it. And now, in the context of this, I do very much suspect that these natural disasters are not natural disasters. Divide and conquer? Pretty much. Okay. Shortly before Harold's return, Queen Estrid passed away, and to her dying breath, she spitefully blamed the kingdom's ills on the curse of Loki, her own son. Naturally, the people believed that the curse was responsible for her death. Loki, my son! Well, that's a dichotomy and a half. Is he going to El Queen? I'm not gonna lie, this is a bit of a Rembozo moment, but I do wonder whether he's going to make this into like a public thing. We know that it didn't work in the long run. Obviously, in the long run, it didn't work. But I do wonder if it's going to be like, my son will now grow, and they've already covered up his eyes. When they do that, I guess sometime in between. I wonder if he's going to do something like, he's going to like become a man alongside me, and you'll see that no one is born evil, no one is born wrong, something like that. Okay. He was born with a affliction of the eyes, I'm afraid. Though he can see, I assure you. Poor lad. Can you smile? I suppose not after losing your mother. At just a few months old, Loki abandoned any hope for love. That's big sad. That's big sad. Now, granted, at just a few months, I don't know how much of anything he has abandoned. I'm gonna take what Oda is telling me and be like, yes, that's very sad. And like in terms of misery scaling, if you want to do misery scaling, Loki is definitely up there, very much up there. Poor lad. Poor lad. He's got a lot of bruises. Yeah, well, yeah. I wonder why. I wonder why. Loki looks like he works 5 jobs at the same time and is just done with life. I mean, yeah. He doesn't look very good. It is very sad that we obviously know, like, where he ends up, right? I'm thinking about where this goes, but we know that he ends up chained up and basically hated by everyone anyway. So it's kind of like, I'm hoping for this little story to see a twist, but I don't think it will. Meanwhile, Harold's diplomatic ties paid off, and Elbaf survived its long winter. W. Branch Route 1? That's right! It will promote friendship and trade between the villages. But between rebuilding the shattered country and his many foreign trips, Harold was tremendous. Oh, he didn't even raise his own kid because he was too busy. Horrid thing. And so the care of Loki fell to his regent, Estrid's older brother. Now, this is one of those things that I'm like, God damn it, but this is I love this trope so much. One of my favorite things in stories is when the main character has a kid, and then there is a sequel or a new season or something, and the kid is a brat because he never had parents. I love this trope, because, like, we saw this, like, superhuman being running around being the protagonist. Well, guess what? After the story ended, they were still a superhuman Giga Chad, and they didn't have the time to raise kids. I love this trope. We saw a little bit of this with, like, Aang in Korra, right? Where, like, all of his kids, they were kind of like, eh. Or like Maggie's kid in The Walking Dead. I love this. Loki's gonna take off the band. I don't know what the Itachi eyes is, but I think there's gonna be a cool moment of him taking it off. Yeah, literally Boruto's plot. I don't know if it's Boruto's plot, but it's a very common trope, and I love the trope. I love it because it makes so much sense. Like, if you are a very good fighter, very good leader, very good everything, that doesn't mean you're going to be a good parent. And when you see it done right, and like their kid is just a brat or even a villain in some capacity, I love that. It's a good trope. Okay, it's dangerous down there. This is the underworld. No, the sea separates us from the underworld. The beasts can't reach here. That's so sweet of you to be worried about me, though. That's cute. You're going to do your warriors training in the elbow of the western village, right? I'll stop by on the way home. Fishermen, the shipwrecked pirates, all are welcome here. This is Ida's bar. I just hope it helps Harold somehow. Wait, is this where Shanks was? It is, right? This is the same spot. So she made the bar. Yeah, this is where Shanks was. I thought so. The goat Ida? I mean, in the One Piece world, is there any barkeep that's not the goat? Because, like, back in Windmill Village, only the goats in the bar. Here, it's also the goat. Do we even know any other bartender? I don't think we do. Even the guy in Locktown? That's filler, but yes. It's filler, so, like, but yes. The one in Water 7 owned by CP9? Was there a bar in Water 7? Bro, he was... I don't believe this actually happened. I don't believe this happened. I'm looking at this picture. I don't believe this happened. What is this picture? I like see him and I'm instantly just like this is CP9. This picture in my brain, this is not real. I don't believe this is real. Okay. Back to the chapter. 56 years ago, let's see what happened 56 years. I'm going to scroll down in the timeline. Let's start reading. 56 years ago, Ja Rule's home, Elbaf. So, you were there for the incident at the Reverie, Harold. What the hell happened at the Reverie 56 years ago? Yes, I asked a fellow royal to help me slip inside as a soldier, but in the end, the council would not hear me out. Oh, if not for the uproar about that murder, I might have been imprisoned. 56, Gomu Gomu? Yeah, 56 is an interesting year. It is a very interesting number. It is. What is this? Also, this is a very important question. This is a very important question I would like the answer to as well. I don't think it's really... How exactly does an ancient giant sneak into Marie Joie? I would like to know the answer to this as well. Okay. If you were lucky, you'd only be in chains. That was reckless of you. Say, have you ever heard of... What the hell is this? Have you ever heard of the I assume double L is like I sound, right? Or Galliela band? It's Galley. Why is it spelled so weirdly? I was like, it's Galley La. Why is it? Why would they spell it like this? It's not the same. It's never been spelled like this. It's not the same Galley La? No. I need this. Is this a Zolo situation? Or is this something different? It's different? Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I was about to short circuit. I was like, let's just... Wait a minute. Galley La. Okay. Jesus Christ. It's not spelled the same in Japanese? Okay. Okay, good. Jesus Christ. I was thinking it's gonna be a Zolo situation. Maybe the giants have different names. Let's see. That group of hardy giant shipwrights, hammer-wielding warriors, right? I thought they were a myth. No, they most certainly existed. They traveled to distant shores and sent a letter back to Elbaf from afar. It said, "We have all been taken prisoner." Can you believe that? Who could possibly capture 100-strong company of our kind, with ancient giants among them to boot? Okay, so a number of things we gotta talk about. Yeah, like, this is just like a casual thing. So a number of things we need to talk about. So number one, the fact that there is the fact that there are some kind of like ancient dudes who are even better shipwrights seems very, very sus, considering the fact that a lot of us have theorized about another ship upgrade. Very weird. Also, if you are saying that this Galila bar is a different thing, very interesting to base your name off of. Let me look at the... Wait a minute. Let's investigate. Oh. Well, that seems interesting, doesn't it? Well, that... Yeah, like, it's literally a Viking ship. Well, that makes sense. When were they... Because this is all 20 years ago. So there is nothing that goes past 22 years. There are frozen giants at Punk Hazard? I mean, they're dead now. L chat? Okay, I don't know what's going on. I am trying to make all this lore fit in my head by myself. I'll keep reading. Let's see. What I was going to say, before I went off of this, it's very interesting that they might have named Galley La after that, right? And the fact that there's a band of even better shipwrights. Wonder if there is one more dude somewhere. We're gonna get an upgrade to the ship. But in doing that, I was going to talk about Davy D. Jones. Because Davy Jones is another ancient being, which has clearly been some kind of inspiration for something, right? You think the world government did that? It's clear that we had some great enemy at some point in the distant past. But all of that history will be was sunk under the sea one day. My point is, bro just knows everything. What? Your failure to win them over might not be your fault. Some ancient... Wait. Am I stupid or do I just not know what this word means? Enmity. I think someone wanted to use synonyms. Never mind. Because it says enemy and now it's some ancient enmity, but enmity is also a word that exists. Enmity. A state of feeling active opposition or hostility. Okay. Let's see. I've heard stories on the wind about an army of giants put on ice and hidden somewhere. In any case, never forget that we have long been a threat to the rest of the world. Oh! So this is Punk Hazard. Yeah, that's alright. That's not that bad of a spoiler. But okay, they ended up in Punk Hazard. Are we sure that's all of them? Yeah, now you can talk about the Punk Hazard thing. That's fine. That wasn't like a big thing. That was like one page. That's fine. So, do we assume Wait, this is starting to make a lot more sense all at the same time. Because Punk Hazard... Wait, let's think all this through. So, Punk Hazard was also the location where they were doing like the gigantification tests. Right? And if they had frozen all of these dudes, let me get a proper look at them. So that one has a big open mouth. I have so many tabs open. Send help. I mean, I do think it's supposed to be the same ones. Let me open up a paint thing. We'll talk about Kuzan and who might have done this in a second. Because I do think all of this is very interesting. At this point, I am beyond convinced that everything that we are seeing is the world government. With this, right? Like this guy, this thing right here, that's this, right? Like these two to me seem the same. Unfortunately, we don't have anyone with this kind of hair. This would be very, very easy to see. And unfortunately, I don't also see any Viking hats. This guy does look like someone who could be on Elbaf, though. Like, look, he has the cape and everything. This guy looks like an Elbaf dude. He doesn't have a cape. He has a cape, but it's not the same kind of cape. I find this very sus. Because, if this is the same location where they were doing, like, top secret tests to create giants of their own, and this was, like, all a part of the, like, isolate the giants here, because they know they were going around helping people in some capacity, right? Ors was also frozen when Moria found him. Wasn't it... I mean, there is still a frozen island we have never talked about. And coincidentally enough, this is one of, did I say Forest Island? I think I might have said Forest Island. There is another, like, snow island that we have never really discussed. And I'm pretty sure it's with this. Maybe it wasn't with the penguin. But there is, like, another frozen island somewhere that we haven't really talked about ever. Is it the island Frankie was sent to? This is one of the... Oh my god. If I knew this is what this chapter was gonna be, I would have brushed up on the lore. This would have been like writing like the main channel videos where I was like, okay, I have seen this here before, this, that. Jesus. In any case, never forget that we have long been a threat to the rest of the world. Yes. I am well aware of that. Oh, Prince Loki! Killer of my beloved sister! That's a crazy thing to say. Let's see. What rotten scrap shall I feed you today? Oh no! The lucky horse is dead! Oh no! The region is dead! Down in the underworld! Wait, is he smiling? W, I'm pretty sure he's smiling about the region being dead. That's W. 48... So basically, he is just miserable his entire life. Got it. 48 years ago, Harald built 8 branches. 8 branch routes in Elbaf, unifying the country and creating a vibrant trade between villages. And the 9th one connects it to the God realm. Funny that, isn't it? Funny. My dream is for us to be connected to every country and for giant kind to be able to live across the world. He was making the One Piece. He was making the One Piece. He wanted to make rainbow roads and connect all of the villages, connect the entire world. Harald is the absolute GOAT. Now, at the same time, the more I'm seeing Loki's story, the more I'm also kind of like, I can kind of see where this is going and why he might have actually thought Harald is a bad guy. Because from Loki's perspective, Harald was a very bad guy. He just didn't do anything. Like, Loki was suffering day after day, year after year, because these are giant years, right? So this was a while. This was like a decade. So he was just being miserable constantly, and his dad did nothing except talk about his big dreams. I mean, do you want to bet on Ymir? If Ymir is on Punk Hazard? I am very intrigued about all this frozen giant stuff, because all of this is obviously lore. Right? Also, this is a very funny Coinky Dink, yes. This is a very, very funny coinky dink. When did they start building Tequila Wolf? Oh, Tequila Wolf was 700 years. That's way before. That's way before. You're the best, King Harold! I can scarcely remember how he used to be. Harold is now a king for the ages. Why do you look so pleased, Hyrule? You're not the king's real son. Loki is our only prince. You're just a bastard. That's a diabolical thing to say. That's a diabolical thing. Look out! King Harold is gone on another one of his trips. You know what that means. Bolt your doors. Bring the children indoors. Come on, boys. Destroy him. This is Elbaf, the land of the mighty. The weak don't deserve to live. Loki, meanwhile, caused harm and destruction. I mean, yeah, like this is last time we might have talked about how there might be like misunderstandings and stuff. Yeah, there was no misunderstanding. Bro entered his rebellious phase, and he was never his dad never gave him a little, you know, slap on the wrist, never told him, bro, relax. He was in his rebellious teen phase, and no one could do anything about it. Brother brought up mammoth, something like that. I mean, I do think it's kind of sad that, like, the only friends Loki could have had were beasts. Which, actually, that would be an interesting power. Because is this, like, the voice of all things? Is he just somehow making friends with beasts? Or is this something more? Because him, like, just being buddies with all these different things, it is kind of... Dr. Doolittle fruit! Luffy is a parallel to this? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Luffy is definitely being paralleled here in many, many ways. Loki using a Kaido weapon. I was thinking about that, but I don't know if it's just meant to be like a club and a mace, or it's actually meant to be some kind of parallel to Kaido. I'm not sure about that. All right. And mocked those who ran from him. Hey, Loki! I mean, to be fair, like, again, this is one of those situations where, like, this was his only way to survive. Because, like, everyone laughed at him. Everyone said that he's never going to get anything. Well, I mean, he showed them that he's going to get it by force then. This is like Harold, massive W, but but Loki, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Don't mess up the village Dad worked so hard to build. Huh? He's my dad, not yours. That guy might get a lot of respect, but he tries to be friends with those tiny little bug humans. He's so stupid. You have to see everyone at the same eye level. Don't think you're special just because you're big. I'm special because I'm the prince. Don't ever talk to me again, shrimp. I am once again not a Loki enjoyer, because why would you do that? Your bro was just trying to talk to you. Like, look at him. This is basically like Armin and Aaron. Like, you know you can beat him. So why not just at least talk to him? Like, what? El Hyrule? No, Hyrule is my goat. I am very torn up inside. Shrimp is diabolical, though. Hyrule, stay away, Gerd, or Loki will think we're friends with him, and then he'll hit us. We are friends with him, dummy. Very based. Very, very based. I keep forgetting his name. What's the silly little guy's name? It's Goldberg. Gerd is the girl. I'm very bad with names. Yeah, Gerd is the girl. Goldberg is the guy. I need like a little whatchamacallit? A guide to names. Whenever I'm reading these chapters. Haha, little creep. You're a loser, Hyrule. Look at you, weaklings, licking each other's wounds. The son of a mother with tainted blood. Your Highness, that's enough. He is the king's son as well. He's a prince. Don't call him a prince. Bro, relax. 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 He doesn't even have parents to raise him well. Yeah, like this is one of the rare flashbacks where, because usually like in the flashbacks, I am like, Jesus, can we just like cut this kid a break? Like every single flashback, I'm just like, Jesus. Like, it's just bad. Like in Sanji's flashback, literally like everyone there should get a slap in the face, except like 3 characters. But with this one, I'm like, goddamn. Like Loki, I see where he ended up. Hyrule, he's just trying to protect what his dad has built. His dad, a absolute W king. This is one of those situations where I'm kind of like, it's just kind of bad on all fronts. But no matter how much he harmed and destroyed, Loki could never fill the hole at the center of his being. I can't even die. That's big sad. That's big sad. I do wonder, because he obviously removes the bandages over his eyes himself. And I don't know if this is just what Loki does in terms of like, not Loki. Is this what Oda does in terms of like wanting to draw the tears? Or it's what Loki actually does? Loki on the Kaido grind? Yeah, this is like, the whole Loki could never fill the hole. Because we just talked about how like Kuma had every single reason to be a villain, but he never became one. Right? Like, everything that happened to him would normally be the backstory of a villain. He never did. He was always the same hopeful, absolute goat of a man, right? But with Loki, it's like, he's not even becoming a villain. He is just trying to be destructive. Like, self-destructive. Literally, in this case. But also, like, figuratively. Because the whole, like, he goes around destroying stuff is just, like, just trying to feel anything. God damn it. We're going to have a nice moment with Luffy mirroring Sanji with Pudding. I hope so. I hope we're gonna see something like that. I hope so. I hope so. Okay. What's up with this island? Where do you get inland? Roar! Oh, there we go. Look, it's a giant kid. So this must be Elbaf. Brother, what the hell is this? No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Ain't no way, okay. Yo, this one looks positively demonic. This is Shiki, right? It seems too big, even for a giant. Is he right? Alright, brat. You're gonna say yes twice, because that's the answers I want from these questions. This man, whom Harold met at the Reverie 8 years ago, 8 years later, earlier, killed a Navy... Hold up! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Wait. He did what? He killed a Navy headquarters admiral at the Reverie and fled? I'm sorry, what? Not to be like, I don't do power scaling, right? But in the grand world narrative, this has to knock down the admirals by an absolute ton. What the hell? Okay. Now that the government has placed a heavy bounty on his head. Oh, that's it. Question 1. Is this Elbaf, the land of giants? Question 2. Is Harold here? Rocks D. XEBEC, future captain of the Rocks Pirates. Huh? Father of Blackbeard. I think we should take a quick okay, wait a minute. Okay. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. There is a ton we gotta talk about. Number 1, his hair is obviously multicolored. And he does low-key look like Buggy. Low-key does look a little bit like Buggy. That's number 1. Number 2, Whitebeard took in Blackbeard, fully knowing that he is the son of Blackbeard. He is the son of Rocks. I think we should take a look at the stocks. What's going on the stock market? Let's take a quick look what's going on the stock market. So we got Blackbeard to the moon, Rocks to the moon, Shiki to the moon, Buggy to the moon. That's interesting. Admirals trending. It's so over. What's going on with the admirals? What's going on with the admirals? Where are the admirals? Oh, look at this. That's diabolical. That is absolutely diabolical. I love how everybody read Father of Blackbeard, but also he looks like Buggy. He does very much look like Buggy. He does look very much like Buggy. I saw people memeing that something is like Nepo babies. Bro, I wish I had put a Whitebeard stock on here. Whitebeard stocks, he's dead. But he should be going to the moon. Whitebeard is like the greatest dad of all dads. He just said like, I don't care who you are. Come and sail with me. The absolute GOAT. Bro, it's so over for the admirals. The entire EDF is just collapsing. Sheesh. Okay, so... Bro, look at this. Look at Rocks. So let's talk about Rocks and Blackbeard. So this whole thing about... I'm not exactly surprised, to be honest. Like, it's a big shock actually seeing it. But the fact that he is in some way linked to Rocks, that was obvious. Like, all along. But this whole thing about him not sleeping... Is this a Loki situation? Is the reason why we have this connective thread between Rocks, Loki, and now Blackbeard? Did Blackbeard stay up at night waiting for his dad to come home? Like, is that unironically what we're seeing? And somehow Loki got a weird father figure in Rocks? Yeah, like Blackbeard's ship is literally named Saber of XEBEC, right? Like, there's been a bunch of like things pointing to the fact that Blackbeard is obviously not just like obsessed with Rocks, but that there's also direct links to Rocks. But the whole thing about not sleeping, and again, the fact that Rocks also has multicolored hair. Do we have anyone in the world of One Piece that has such weird hair? I don't even know. Okay. That's enough stock talk for today. Oh my god. Oh my god. Did Rocks possess Blackbeard's third heart? There's a bunch of stuff I still want to talk about. I already saw someone talking about the hands. I'll talk about the hands. Or the hand, rather. We'll talk about it. Because there's a bunch of weirdness with giants being frozen in ice. And all of that. So, if you're a normal person. And you look at Rocks' hand. He is saying he's gonna ask 2 questions. So what does a normal person assume? Well, 2. 2 questions. 2 questions, 2 answers. So 2, right? 2. But if you are someone in Koroto's chat, or Koroto, you're gonna think of law. Exactly. So if you think about this, who cut the mountain in half? I mean, it has to be. You think Shiki cut the mountain? Rocks doesn't even have a sword? Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Because you know what I'm thinking? And this is like, this is very much like Attack on Titan pilled. Is what's going on in my brain right now. Also, why does his eyes have the Frankie thing? Anyway, also, is the thing across his eye, that's not hair, right? I completely forgot what I was gonna say. I like, my brain is just going at like 1,000 miles an hour. I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I am very much Attack on Titan pilled, right? The fact that we have Rocks, and he has multicolored hair, and what if his hair... This is a black and white manga? Impossible to tell, right? But what if his hair is black and white? No. Let's not talk about that. I was gonna talk about awakenings and all that. What if there's like a weird, like messed up awakening of one of his fruits, but he still has like remnants of the other one? Let's not talk about that. Does he have a... No. I'm finally gonna finish what I was saying. So, the Attack on Titan pilled theory is what I'm thinking. Saber of XEBEC And if Blackbeard was always alone and a part of Whitebeard's fleet, not Whitebeard's fleet, but a part of Whitebeard's crew, what if this is a inheritance moment? So we talked about like what if it's Lost Devil Fruit? What if it's something akin to like your not a dream being inherited like we see with everyone else, but actually the person being inherited somehow? Because there's been a bunch of weird things with Blackbeard completely rubber banding in personalities. And now we have a dude with weirdly colored hair, and Blackbeard is basically an extension of Rocks, and he's like, Blackbeard is a weapon. He is the saber of XEBEC. Remember when Mr. Yapper saw Luffy in Gear 5 form and said it's a white one, huh? So what if there's a possibility of a black one and Rocks representing the two halves? I don't think that's even a theory, because we have people who have awakened fruits, and they have the black swirly boys. We have spent like a while talking about that. And I don't know what the implications of that is still. And the demon boys. The demon boys and Lucci. And they have the black swirly boys. Oda really went all out for his design though, didn't he? At least he has all his teeth. Which is interesting. Ace was named after Roger's sword. Yeah, that's also very interesting. Nice design. I love his design. I absolutely love his design. He looks like... I mean, he's got the pirate cape. He has got the Blackbeard look. I love it. I love the design. The perfect teeth is sending me. I mean, is there a place where we can get a good look at his sword? Compared to the silhouette, which do you prefer? There was a lot of debate on this. 1,000,000% this. The silhouette looked like he had some kind of like weird hair. We can look at the silhouette right now. Hold on. I'm just thinking about like the way Blackbeard hunted down the exact devil fruit. The way Blackbeard has this weird like weird XEBEC thing. Like naming your own ship after XEBEC, that's not like being named after something. He chose the name. And all this, I'm just like, Rocks, silhouette. You can all laugh at me. You can all laugh at me now. Yeah, like when I saw this, I mean, this is hideous. Why is his hair standing up? This thing, like his hair looked like it was weirdly alive. It had a life of its own. Like, why is his hair? What the hell is this? This is like Medusa. Bro is Medusa. Why is bro Medusa? I don't want Loki to be Medusa. Well, like, bro, literally, bro. Look at him. I love this design. His smile also doesn't look like don't look like Blackbeard's. I gotta stop Googling this stuff. I gotta stop Googling this stuff. Okay. You see what I mean? Oh, Blackbeard also has these things. I never noticed. Frankie's are way more pronounced. I never noticed that Blackbeard also has like the distinct lines. I'm stupid, never mind. Yeah, this is like this is very sus. There's no way, right? Like what would be... This is one of those situations where I almost hope that it's not true. And you know why? Because it's too much. I feel like it's too much. You know how I've talked about, like, the world of One Piece, at times, it feels insanely big. Like, insanely big. But at the same time, we have, like, 5 characters, and the entire world seems to revolve around them. So, I almost kind of hope that this is not true. Because if literally 2 of the main players are once again connected to someone from Roger's era, it just feels like a little bit too much Nepo piece. You summed it up beautifully. You summed it up beautifully. So, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want there to be like another clear link. Because we've got so many. Side by side of Rocks and Garp. Has someone done this? Obviously, I do think the fact that he has multicolored hair does hint at something to do with, like, multiple fruits. I think that's like the most obvious conclusion. The only thing I'm confused about is why is Blackbeard effectively an extension of Rox? Like, in the same way he assembles his crew, in the same way he names, like, his ship Saber of XEBEC, the entire, like, island of Nassau, all of these things seem to be extensions of XEBEC. Like, it's not even an inherited story, it's literally an extension. So I'm thinking that there is something sus going on. With the devil fruits, with the multiple devil fruits, with all this stuff. Very sus. I don't really like Blackbeard being a son of Rox because it's just too simple. I think Buggy being the son of the other, on the other hand, is both funny and makes sense. I think Oda could have gone with him being like the I think the reason he's not Buggy's dad is because it would make Blackbeard's admiration of him weird. I think that's the simplest reason. I think, like, there are so many links between Blackbeard and Rox that they would have to be in some way connected, even if it's not like a father thing. It would have to be in some way very closely tied. But I think if it was Buggy, Blackbeard's characterization would sort of shift weirdly. I'll be very curious, and I do think this is one of those situations where we will be hair scaling. I do. I think the moment we get the colors for his hair, we will be hair scaling. Everyone thought Ace would inherit his father's will, and he didn't. Luffy did, so now we will see Blackbeard trying to inherit his father will fail as well. I mean, there's already a bit of like a found father thing with Loki, right? So I assume it's going to be something akin to that, which doesn't bode well, because that would mean that he's going to be a bit of a baddie, right? Very, very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. A lot to think about. The biggest, like, I completely glossed over this. This guy snuck into the heart of the Marie Joie Alliance, killed an admiral, and left. What? Maybe you could say it was like a newer admiral or something. Right? You can maybe start saying, well, look, what if the admiral was like one of the new recruits? What if? But still, he just went in there, killed an admiral, and got out. Like, think back to Marineford. Do you think he has a devil fruit or not? I think the whole no devil fruits thing will be exclusive to Shanks and Roger. I think with the way Blackbeard's story has been told thus far, he will have a devil fruit. I think he will absolutely have a devil fruit, if not I am leaning towards multiple. I am very much leaning toward him having multiple fruits. Because, like, his whole thing was assembling literally the strongest pirates that he could find, right? So, I assume he would apply the same logic to himself. Maybe Rox saw something awful and raged at the Celestial Dragons and Admiral. I mean, we've seen something quite similar to that in God Valley, right? So, and there was like the whole thing about Rox coming from the east on God Valley and stuff too. I'm not gonna lie, like them just walking up like this is one of the hardest panels in all of One Piece. Like, this is actually insane. And even Shiki is finally back. Why else would Blackbeard be so obsessed with devil fruits, and specifically the Yummy Yummy? Blackbeard had insider info. I think so too. I think so too. Stussy looks gangsta. Does she have, like, what are they called in English? The things that, like, hold up your pants. She is dripped the hell out. I mean, you know it's serious. I think Whitebeard is the only one who doesn't have a cloak. Everyone else has the cloak. I think Whitebeard's the only one who is just, like, in a regular jacket. Every other person has the cloak. Suspenders, yeah, that's the one. Absolutely insane chapter. Absolutely crazy chapter. Having Wano attire. I mean, I would assume this is Wano. I think it's Wano. Then again, Zoro was also dressed like this. And he's not from Wano. Like, he is, but he's not. right? So I'm leaning towards him being from Wano. Jinbei wears a kimono. He's not from Wano. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just a kimono at the end of the day. It's very hard to say, like, if it has any links to that. Like, I do think, like, your mind jumping to Wano does make sense for Shiki. But, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I can't let go of the idea. I cannot let go of the idea of Blackbeard's black hole power plus Moria. I can't let go of the idea. Is this chapter better than the mural? Honestly, who the hell knows? I think the mural panel, because like the mural was massive, but I think it's largely going to depend on the way like all the prophecies actually play out. This chapter was just start to finish. We started with incredible politics. Get political. Then we went into an incredible flashback with Loki, right? Where like for one of the only times there really isn't like a easy baddie, except like his mom, I guess. Like El Bozo on that front. Then we go into more lore about like Punk Hazard and stuff. And then Rock shows up. What I'll be very, very intrigued about is what happens with Loki? Like, why would he come here to recruit like Big Mom, but not Loki? If a human can make something like Pluton, did the Giants make it? Now that we have this whole thing about like giant shipwrights and them possessing technology that the outside world doesn't really have, I honestly think it's very, very hard to say. I think it should have been Blackbeard being a spiritual successor, not a direct one. Yeah, I kind of see this. I do kind of see this. I do wonder whether this is going to be a situation where the lineage factor is important. It could just be that it needs to make sense mechanically, right? So it's not like a thing of Blackbeard carries on the will of him or something, but the fact that there is actually something, again, his hair is multicolored, right? There might be a lineage thing that needs to happen, because we already know that Blackbeard has like a weird body or something. They already talked about that. So something about Blackbeard is weird. So if he was the same thing, it might just be like a mechanical necessity. What a crazy day. What a crazy day. I think we all had fun. I think we all had a lot of fun with this. Predictions for next chapter. I mean, it's probably gonna be Big Mom, right? Marshall D teach, Rox D teach, as in he took like his mother's name. Yeah, it is very cheeky. Is this, by the way, I don't even know. Is this a thing that like depends on where you are? Are there cultures where you take the mother's name? I actually don't know. Let me Google this. Are there cultures? Because like historically speaking, I would assume there's not, because you know it's evil dudes who ruled the world. Are there cultures where kids take the mother's name? Yeah, this is like you take your mother's name as your second name, but I'm talking about a family name. Oh, here we go. Around the world, metro surnames are far less common than patronymic, which makes sense. Makes sense. Unfortunately, it was always the dudes. It was always the dudes. Iceland daughters take mothers and sons fathers. That's cool. That's cool. It would have been much better if Blackbeard has the body that Rox didn't have, but I don't know what Oda's cooking, so we'll wait and see. Yeah, this is a wait and see situation. This is very much a wait and see situation. I will be like, obviously everything surrounding Rox lore is going to be like, I'm locked the hell in, I'm thinking, I'm bringing out the notes, and the fact that do you see how Oda is bringing up all the things that were once kind of like people may have thought that they're no longer important, no longer relevant, and we shouldn't really think about them. Oda is finally bringing them all back into play. Now, what is that one thing that still hasn't been brought back into play? What's that one thing? Davy D. Jones. Do you already think about the possibility that Mother Carmel caused the bad weather situation on Elbaf? I am leaning towards the fact that it's some kind of sabotage or some other forms of trying to attack the Giants indirectly by the world government. In Fishman Island, when Noah was damaged and being lifted by the sea beast said maybe they could fix it. They could be talking about the giant shipwright. Maybe. Maybe they were talking about Frankie. Oh, yeah! You know what else we need? I read this, but I'm not talking about Eneru. Where the hell is Weevil? What the hell happened to Weevil? Weevil is such like a... Why? Why does he even exist? I wish it was connected to the Florian Triangle. You mean like the weather weirdness on Elbaf or what? Because I do suspect that the Florian Triangle will in some way be important in all of this. I just don't know how. He's an Impel down? Yeah, but why? Why the hell would he be captured? Like, he came into the story, caused a bunch of mess, said, I am Whitebeard's son, and then got yeeted. Why? That's a very weird situation. Okay, so next chapter, we are going to see, Big Mom. And hopefully what happens to Loki. I will be very curious to see what happens when Loki interacts with rocks. I want to see how this plays out. Is this going to be like a situation of I'll come back to get you in a few years, lil pal? Or what? I hope we get a buggy update. I don't think we're going to be hearing from those lads for a while. Because I think when we hear about Buggy, we're going to hear about the whole gang. Like, I think we're going to hear about what Crocky and Mihawk are doing as well. And I don't think they're really going to be doing a lot for now. Because they announced that they're going after the One Piece, right? So, whatever kind of shenanigans happen with them, I think we're going to be waiting a little bit for that. We might see Loki and Rox fight. If we see Loki and Rox fight, you know what I'm very intrigued about? If you went back however many chapters, do we see that mountain cut in the distance somewhere? Do we ever see a mountain that has just been cut? Is there continuity with this? Because this is not that long of a time, right? This is not that much. This is not that many years. Loki will be Rock. Yeah, we know that. We know. But I want to see what Rox does. I want to see what he does. If he does a black hole, that's cool. What's his power? I want to know what he does. He's like beating a kid. It's not like beating a kid. It's beating a kid. I mean, I guess I'll leave it there for today. I think we've talked about pretty much everything we could have talked about. Is this my favorite chapter of Elbaf so far? Maybe. Maybe. There's been a bunch of like very, very heavy hitters with Elbaf, but this one is genuinely like beat for beat. This one's crazy. Because the Robin stuff, like Robin and Saul, I don't even remember if that was this year. I think it was. I don't remember when that was. That might have been around Christmas. I don't know. But like some of the chapters, they have like stuff going on in tandem that is not like just peak fiction all across the board. This one was just peak. That's the end of Yappers. Is there a chapter next week? Oda was about to skip Elbaf? Bro, if he skipped this, I think I would tear out my eyeballs. There is a chapter next week. So we will be back to do it all over again. I didn't say this earlier. I was going to talk about this. I am probably not going to be on throughout the week because I have a bunch of stuff happening this week. And I need to get the next video done. So there's probably going to be fewer streams throughout the weekdays. But I'll be back next Sunday as usual. Nothing's changing about that. Alright, that being said, thanks a lot for joining me for the single longest One Piece stream I think we've ever done. And I'll see you back for the next one, which I'm sure is not going to be as important as this one. Alright, that's it. Have a good one. Bye-bye.